Hi, it's Nanny K, a seesingsay, and today in lockdown world, I'm in quarantine for 2 weeks, and I'm halfway through. So I'm just going to show my family where I've been staying for the last week. I've been made very welcome here, and I got a little message when I came in, and I've got some beautiful flowers, my favourite red and white roses. And so thoughtful of my hosts who have been looking after me here in lockdown world. I've got my little workstation over here where I've been writing more songs and some poems, and I've been having great fun while I've been not allowed out and I've been staying in. And I just wanted to take this moment of opportunity to thank everyone who has been helping me with my stars that rhyme. I've got so many people to thank, and it's just such a wonderful opportunity for me to share some of my songs that I've been singing to the children that I childmind for many years now, and we sing all the time at my little setting in Leighton Buzzard. And I wanted to share with you today. I'm just going to go and get some special little songs that I wrote for some special people, because while I'm here, I've come to see my first two little granddaughters, and they are Madison Katie and Maya Leslie. And I am very blessed to be a nanny to both of them, but also their other special person is Grandma Leslie, and Grandma Leslie's birthday is the same day as mine, which is just unbelievable that our two granddaughters are going to have both their nanny and their granny's birthday on the same day. And I still can't see them yet, and nor can Nanny Leslie. So we are both gonna miss seeing them on our birthdays, but so many of you have missed seeing your families on your special days too. And I'm gonna sing you on my song for Madison and Maya, and it goes like this. And it goes, baby A, baby B, waiting for you to meet me. Mummy and Daddy will care for you. Mummy and Daddy will cuddle you. Baby A and baby B, baby, baby, sing with me. Mummy and Daddy love you too. Mummy and Daddy will tell you so. Baby A and Madison Katie, baby B is Maya Leslie. Welcome to this wonderful world. Baby A and baby B. Mummy and Daddy will care for you. Mummy and Daddy will cuddle you. Mummy and Daddy love you too. Mummy and Daddy will tell you so. Nanny K will sing to you. Nanny K loves you too. Madison Katie and Maya Leslie looking forward to sing to you. So I can't wait to meet Madison and Maya next week. I shall be allowed out of lockdown word, and there is a little special birthday song that I sing to all the children here at our Rhythm&Rhyme Kids Club. And so these are the little cards that I make, and this one is especially for Leslie, as it's going to be her birthday today as well as mine. And it goes like this. Happy birthday to Leslie, happy birthday to Leslie, happy birthday to Leslie, you're 61 years old today. Happy birthday to Leslie, happy birthday to Leslie, happy birthday to Leslie on your special day. Happy birthday, Leslie, from Nanny K, seesingsay. So they're my little birthday messages. I have my little niece next week to sing her happy birthday, Emily. She's going to be 7 and I will sing her own special birthday message and send it out to her on the good old World Wide Web. I can send it on, she can get my message and she can hear me sing her song and see her little star, which is a little star from Emily. So anyway, I wanted to show you my little star that is my lockdown world birthday for myself, and there's a little clue on my birthday star where I'm staying in lockdown world, and it's just on there. See, we're from England and now we're in Canada, and that's where I'm staying for the 2 weeks I'm in quarantine before I hop over to the island and I get to see my granddaughters who are in hospital at the moment, and they're going to be home shortly, which is just terrific news. So I wanted to just say so much thank you to all the people who helped me get to this point today where I can share my songs, and the encouragement that I've had from so many of them, my friends and my children's parents that I look after. They wanted me to share the songs that I sing to their children, and I had never wrote my songs down ever before, and I just sang them to the kids every day just because it's fun and it's a great way for them to learn more language, and we sing more, we say more, and then we see more and we sing more and we say more. So that's my reasoning behind why I sing to the kids every day. And their parents wanted my songs to sing at home with them. So I started writing them down, and I started writing a few down, and I got to 50 and I thought, wow, that's quite a few. When I got to a few hundred, I was just like, well, maybe other people would like my songs and sing them to their children, whether it's brushing their teeth or like cutting their food, poking it with the fork, or learning my sleep technique of like relaxing before we go to sleep. And I've had many requests of the parents. They would like a song about a particular thing. I love making them up. So please, if you want any songs, drop me a note and I'll see if I can write you a little song for whatever you wish to do with your child, because it's so much fun to sing with them for helping them to learn extra language of this, being descriptive and saying it more and saying it over and over again. It's a fun way to learn language, and also for them to learn the skills that if you help them and they'll help you, and then they'll learn the skills by doing something over and over again. And that's how we learn, is the more we do something, the easier it gets. And sometimes those things that we don't like to do are hard to learn, and it takes us a long time to learn because they're the things we don't like to do. But only practice makes it easier, and the more we do something, the better we get at it. So it's a win-win. So singing, is the way I feel, is that it gets more language to the children, because a lot of my songs are repetitive, and you can sing them in a round, and you can go round and round and sing them more and more. So that's why I enjoy the singing, because the songs make me feel happy while I'm playing with the kids. And we've got to do tidy up time. That's always a difficult time of the day, and it was getting stressy. And then that great tidy up song came on, and everyone started singing that song, and I would use that song in my setting to get the kids to tidy up, and I'd put it on my phone and play the melody while we tidied up. It made me feel better, and it made them want to join in. And that tidy up song was such a great inspiration to me, thinking about why do children react and join in when the music's played. It makes them feel happier, and it makes me feel happier singing. And so it's a win-win situation where the kids are happy, I'm happy, and we tidy up, and it's a happy time, not a stressful time at the end of the day when they're going to be picked up. And it's So that's why I started realizing more singing will help them. So then I did my lunchtime song. So when the kids were playing, it's sometimes hard for a child to stop playing and want to go and do something that the adult wants them to do, like go and eat their food or go for a bath or have a story for bedtime. But my little songs that are, whether it's a lunchtime song or a bedtime song or a bath time song, it gets them in that understanding of what's happening next. And I would have, with my mum, extra help when I used to live with her. We used to have 6 little kiddies, all under the age of 3. There were 6 little ones, and they would be playing. And to get them in the dining room for lunch, I would just sing, lunchtime, lunchtime, munch, munch, munch. Lunchtime, lunchtime, crunch, crunch, crunch. And I would sing it over again. And all the children would hear that, and they knew what lunchtime song meant. That meant they come up the table and sit in their high chairs and we'd have lunch. But they chose to stop playing and come eat, which is a much better way for the children to choose what they're going to do rather than us telling them what they're going to do. So there's the same when it came for their nap time. And we always have stories to get them in that state of relaxation before we go to sleep. So we have a story, and I ask them to get a book. I do this. I go, story time, story time, story time. It's time to read a story time. Story time, story time, story time. So the children hear that song and they know they're going to go and get a book, and they just will read a story before they have a sleep. But they choose to go and get their book, and they choose the book they want. And it doesn't matter if it's the same book every time. I, as a child, had my favorite books. My mum will still tell you today, Elmer the Elephant was one of my most favorite stories, and I would want that story over and over again, because being dyslexic, I like repetition, and it's familiarity, and it's over and over again means I know what's coming next in the story, and I enjoyed that. But some children, they'll have a different book they want every night, and that's fantastic. But if your child just wants one book and the same book, that's fine. I have a particular book of Thomas the Tank Engine that the children love. But I don't read the words. I describe what's in the picture, and then we can talk about more than what the words say. You don't need to follow the book words. They're lovely to read, but the pictures have way more words to be able to use by describing what you're actually seeing in the book. So it doesn't matter if your child wants that same story every night. You don't have to say the same story. You can read the same story, but then afterwards you can discuss what's in each page and see if they can find something in the page and point to it with their fingers and find the things you're talking about. So that's reassurance that they're listening to the language that you're saying, and they're understanding what words you're asking them by them pointing and recognizing, because children recognize symbols first before. Every time my little boy, I have a birthday child, and we're going to have their message, and they see this, and this is out, and the birthday, they will say, birthday, birthday, happy birthday. They know that symbol. There's a cake with candles on. Children know that symbol is representing a cake for a birthday, and they use that language, birthday cake. But this works whether it's a nappy or a potty or the bowl or the cup or the bed or a book. I have these little symbols, and the children can communicate with me without needing to speak one word. They can point to whatever icon on my little stars that I have at the house for the children to communicate with me when they haven't got the language skills, because they haven't learnt yet to speak back to me, but they know what the symbols mean. They can recognize what the object is, but they just can't say the word for that object. So they need a little prompt, and so my little stars are little word prompts. And then also when the children are learning, I can use them as word prompts for them as well. So when I say the word birthday cake, I can point to the birthday cake and then they know what I'm actually saying and what I'm talking about, which is great because they learn the pictures and we both can communicate together when they are non-verbal, and it works really well. On some of my little cards, I put the songs on the backs, and I have so many songs I don't always know all the words, and when I've been teaching them to the parents of the kids, I have the little front with a little icon for their little children to know, and then on the back like that, the little words for the parent to be able to learn to sing. So there's the star for the child, and the child will look at that and know what mummy and daddy are talking about. And mummy and daddy have the words on the back of the songs of I sing to the kids, and they learn how to sing those songs, and the children really, really, really do enjoy singing so much. So many times I've heard a child sing a song before they can speak, but using humming or lahs or musical tones rather than the voices. And this is why I created the stars, because the star song, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, I have heard so many children hum that tune before they can speak, or they might have 1 or 2 words of the song, but you know they're singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, because most mums and dads know Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star song, and the children love that song, and we do the little stars, and the children who have heard this song regularly can learn the music notes and sing this tune. And I've heard little ones that are so young, not being able to communicate me with words, but they sing the Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. And this is why I use the star as a character. And it was only when I started making my little character did I realize that we are stars, all of us. And if you put your arms out and you stretch your legs out, you too look like a star. And this is why most star characters on the good wild wide web, everyone puts the little face in the middle of a star. But I realized it's like, actually, the shape of the star is what we are, and all the children are my little stars. And I do like to say to people, you are a star. You helped me for like so many things. You know, to get here today, my support of my partner and my family, they are my star family, and I love them so much, and I thank all of them for everything that they've done and their support. I couldn't do this without you. And then I have my star friends, and I've been sending my words because I'm being dyslexic. It's hard to stop seeing your spelling mistakes or your misjumbled words up, and I send my stars songs and my poems off to my star friends, and they, bless their hearts, they really like check my spelling and give me some tips of what I wrote in the wrong order. I sometimes speak in the wrong order, so it's not surprising that sometimes I write in the wrong order. So yes, thank you to all my star friends out there for supporting me. All my childminder friends have listened to my explaining my concept of how singing really helps children. They've listened to me before I even put 1 star character out there. They listened to my story of my songs, and I gave my childminders before Christmas, before lockdown world started, I gave my childminder friends some of my fun Christmas songs that I wrote for my stars to explain to children what Christmas is all about, because we have children that are like 1 year old and 2 years old, and they've never really understood what Christmas is about. And then you get all this new language, you know, we have Father Christmas, we have Christmas trees, presents, snowmen, reindeer, stars, fairies, so much language. But I created my stars that sing to the song Frere Jacques, all about Christmas, and every character, whether it is Father Christmas or the snowman or the reindeer or a tree, I sang a little song with the Frere Jacques song about the Christmas, and I gave those songs to all my childminders to sing to all their children that they look after in their settings, and they had some fun with them songs. So thank you to all my childminder stars. I love you guys so much, and your support has been tremendous. I really couldn't have done this without your help as well, because knowing you've used some of my songs in your settings, that is amazing. I've had so many wonderful messages, and I know there's been parents out there who've taken my songs, my Wash Your Hands song, they wrote it out in English and in their own language, and they put them on their sink, and they sent me a picture. There's a picture on my Facebook page of their stars in their dual languages for their child to wash their hands to my Wash Your Hands song. And that to me is just the most amazing feeling, that people out there are using my songs and singing them with their children and benefiting from, whether it's the brushing their teeth, and they put my Brush Your Teeth on from YouTube on their phones, and they play the Brush Your Teeth song, and they clean their teeth with their children, and they don't need to sing, because you can't sing with your toothy brush in your mouth, but they listen to me sing my Brush Your Teeth song, and they join in and have fun brushing their teeth for the first time ever, because children don't really like brushing their teeth, do they? And so it's a tricky time of the day, and so having the music and me singing a song that is explaining what we're doing, we are brushing left and right and up and down and round, the parent can show and demonstrate that. They don't need to the words, because I can sing the words to them. And it's lovely to hear the parents of my children that I've been childminding for telling me the feedback and writing on my Facebook page. And I thank you, all my children that I've looked after for the last 23 years. They've had over 100 children come to my setting at seesingsay, and we've had so much fun making and crafting and playing and going out. And thank you, parents, for trusting me to look after your children, and letting me look after them, and helping them learn at such a very young age. Most of the children come to me when they are really under a year old, and they've got so much still to learn. And when they're that age, every day they learn something amazing, and that's what I share at the end of the day. All my children, they have their little colours, so like all the colours of the rainbow, the stars, and I give each child, when they come to me, a colour that we use for their cups and their bowls and their plates and their sleeping sheets and their, excuse me, pardon me for being so rude. This is my pardon, where I teach the children. This is such a fun thing. I do this when they're eating, and we cover our mouth when we burp. We cover our mouth when we cough. And we use our elbows, those funny things on there, which sometimes we never ever say that word elbow to a child. So I have an elbow song, and they think it's really funny when I'm making all those rude noises, but I'm using my elbow, and I do that to teach the children, because we don't want them coughing and sneezing in their hands. And at this moment in lockdown world, isn't that the most important thing, that we teach the children to use our elbows? So you can sing along to my elbow song on YouTube or on Instagram or on Facebook, and it goes like this. We use our elbows when we're going to cough. We cover our mouth when we're going to sneeze. Achoo, achoo, achoo. We cover our mouth when we're going to burp. Burp, burp. Even that makes me laugh. But it makes the kids laugh. But anyway, you get the gist of it. It is like teaching them to do this instead of doing that. So please check that out on my other social medias, and have some fun with teaching your children peepo like this. Not peepo like that, because This is how me and you and our parents on before that have taught our kids to play peepo. Peepo puts our hands on our faces. Peepo puts the germs in our mouths. Peepo with our elbows teaches the children to cough, to sneeze, to burp, to yawn with their elbows. So please, please, during this lockdown world, while I'm in quarantine, and this is why I'm in quarantine, to keep the germs away, and I'm happy to stay here for 2 weeks so I get to see my gorgeous grandchildren. I can't wait to see you, but maybe some of you will teach your children to play peepo, because I will be teaching Madison, Katie and Maya Leslie how to play peepo with my elbows up and down, peepo, peepo. So I hope you will teach your children to play peepo and to cough and to sneeze and to burp and to yawn with your elbows. Anyway, I think it's time for me to say goodbye, and again send all my star friends and family and all the people that I've met through my social media. And there's one other lady actually I almost forgot to tell you about. So her name is Dawn, not my daughter Dawn, no, another lady called Dawn. Her skill is signing. I like to use my hands with the children, but I don't yet know all the sign languages for my songs. I love to learn them. And Dawn, who does signing all the time, has so kindly, thank you so much, from Signing Tots, she has sent me her little videos of her doing this like I am with you. She sends me her videos of her signing my song that I wanted, my Stars That Rhyme song. And I have not yet learned it because she only sent it me yesterday, and I have been busy with creating all my other things that I needed to do, but I am going to learn my Stars That Rhyme song. And I am so grateful for her, because I really know that signing with children, not just children who are hard of hearing or who have speech delay, but all children who actually can benefit from the signs, whether we're pointing and saying thank you or please or singing or talking. The children who are non-verbal actually can also, if you combine like stop, you will use the word and the hand sign at the same time to teach your child to stop doing something, whether you're out in the park or crossing the road or in the house. It reinforces your word and the shapes that your mouth is making with a hand signal, and that is obviously what signing is all about. And I really would like to learn more sign language, because I see the benefits so much for children from birth, because at birth all the children are non-verbal. So obviously they watch our faces and they listen to our ears, and the shapes that our mouths make are what the first signs of them understanding language. They listen with their ears, but if you are deaf, the lips movement and our eyebrows, some of you may have noticed, and a good friend of mine told me about eyebrows. I'll just talk about this a little minute, because if you see what I'm doing here, they go up and down. And I like to wear my hair up. This is lockdown hair, Nanny K style, my old colour and my lockdown colour. It is quite grey. I don't know what to do. But anyway, back to eyebrows. So why I like wearing my hair up in the day is it's out my way. My niece Emily told me her hair gets in the way when she's painting and she's sticking and she's cooking and she's like, it gets in my way. That's why I wear mine up. I get hot when I work with the kids running around after them. But also I like to build the children who are very young to see my face, how I'm feeling, you know, when I need them to concentrate, or I'm not sure what they need or what they're doing. We have angry eyes and we have happy faces and we have surprise. Oh, wow, what a wonderful thing you just did. That's excitement. And children read face and eyes and eyebrows. They are much more observant than we are. This is one of their skills that we like drift off and drop, and we hide with our hair. You don't see expressions on our faces as much, but children are always looking out for clues on how you are feeling, how you're feeling, or what you are saying. So your eyebrows on some of my star characters are actually moving around different shapes, and that to aid the children as well as give them a clue what we're feeling as well as what we're saying, or what. So, you know, emotions in your faces is you know, really important to young children and that. So anyway, I'm just now gonna finish up and say thank you everyone for listening to my little story in lockdown world. I'm going to continue sharing my songs out there, and please, I hope you enjoy them. If you do, drop me a line, Nanny K at seesingsay.co.uk. Its website is just in his baby infant stage at the moment. It's a baby star at the moment. Hopefully my website will grow into a big star, but at the moment it's a bitsy teeny weeny baby star website. But you can message me there. You can see the starting of it, and this is my Stars That Rhyme, that song that is the only piece of music I actually have to go with my stars. I don't use music, I just sing. And you can sing along too. And if you can't sing, just talking in a rhythmic way with rhythm and rhyme actually really, really helps your children. There's a really special thing that our brains does. It listens to music on one side and it reads and speaks on the other side. And I don't understand it, but lots of doctors and professionals and speech and language people, they understand this more than I do. But I've learned enough that one side is for singing and one side is for talking. This is why your child enjoys singing and can sing. Some children, parents, I've been told that they don't talk many words. They might have 2 or 3 words that they'll say in a sentence, like in speech, but they can sing their favorite song, the one they love the most, the one their family sings to them the most. They can sing and they learn all the words to that song. And if you have a child that's very nonverbal, listening to them sing the ABC song or the Wheels on the Bus song or any of those favorite all-time Twinkle Twinkle Little Star song, it's amazing to that you know then your child can and has the ability to string together lots and lots of words. But it's only the fact that they're using the other side of their brain. I don't know if it's the left or right or the right or the left. I may find that out one day. But they are using that singing side of their brain to communicate the song words. When they want to talk to you, they're using the other side, which maybe sometimes the connections haven't quite met up yet. And this is how I describe being dyslexic, is like when I was a child, the connections from one side to the other weren't completely formed, and I could not spell to save my life. And my poor mum and my poor teachers, during spelling time, you get 20 spellings to learn. I would be lucky if I learnt 3. But that's what being dyslexic means, is that the little brain cells have not reached and joined up. Well, just as I said earlier, the more you do something, the better you get at it. So the more I've learned to read and to write, and really, if I'm honest, it was only when I was starting to teach my own 3 daughters reading, I properly learned how to spell even the most basic words, especially things like there and there. You know, that took me a long time. Why do we have 2 theirs and theirs? You know, there's a little I in theirs with the people, and that was my association, the little I with a little dot. That helped me learn that the children have a little I with a dot means that's there for the person, not here, which is, if you take the tree, which is like the tree and the, and then that's here, that's the here for the there, because there's the tree in the distance. And they were the 2 ways that and it's a visual thing, and word association worked for me at being dyslexic, and that's how I only, like, as I say, when my kids got older, did I start learning how to spell simple words like there and there, and know the difference as well. Not being just able to spell the difference, but remembering and understanding what the difference was, because as a child, that was literally impossible, because my little connections hadn't been formed, and it took me a lot longer to learn to make those connections in my little brain cells waving and joining up. So don't fret if your child's not talking yet. Don't worry if they can't spell. The more they practice, and practice isn't what they want to do, but eventually, I promise you, everyone, if you've got the will, and you will find a way, and you'll find a way, and your child will find a way of what works for them best. Because what works for you, it doesn't always work for your child. And that's what I remember, is that what works for one child doesn't work for the other child. So, you know, even though we love all our children the same, we have to sometimes help them in different ways, because, you know, they are unique. They're all individual stars, about like up in the sky, the trillions of stars up there. Not one of them is the same, and no child is the same. And I just feel sometimes when a parent says to me, it's like, you know, oh, my child is 2 and they're not doing this, but their friends are doing this. Why do we worry? Don't worry, because your child might not be good at walking or talking, but they may be good at something else, and they are learning at a different rate than the other children, and they have different skill sets that the other children have got. So a child that may be good at talking might not be good at running, and so vice versa. And so please don't fret if your child has one little area that they're not that good at. Just remember all the things that they are good at, and do that lots. And then when the things that they aren't very good at, help them with them. Just do it more with them, but show them, give them the language skills, demonstrate it yourself. I had a little boy the other day, he was only 2.5, and his dad said to me, have you been showing him how to do his zip? And I said, well, yes, every time I put on the child's coat from small, I show them what to do. And once they are standing, I have the child standing in front of me, and they're facing out, and I'm over them, and I help them with their arms, and we show together how you put the zip in the hole, how you zip it up together, using one hand holding down and the other hand pulling up, because zips are tricky. Children learn how to undo a zip super fast, because that's easy, but to do the zip up is a really hard skill. But the process for doing a zip is a complex process. What you and I have learned, and we do in an instant. we don't even think about how much time and how many processes they comes to doing a zip. Because you have to have your coat on for starters, and that's a tricky thing for children to do. But I have another trick for that. I'll quickly tell you about that too. So if you have a 2-year-old and a table like this, you just pop your coat on the table, and you put the coat on the table, you put the hood next to you, and you have it facing out, and the children put their arms in it. And I have a little song: put your coat on, left and right, hold on tight, push and wish together, my coat's on, job's all done. So as they push their coats into their arms, and it is back to front to them, so as they push it on, as it goes over their heads, of course it's the right way round, and they get their arms in. And my little 2-year-olds they really love showing their parents, because they feel like, wow, I can do this myself. I've put my coat on. I did it all by myself. And there's not any greater feeling than achieving something for yourself, doing something for yourself. But if we keep just putting our kiddies' coats on, and I know we're rushed for time, we've got to get to work, we've got to get to school, we've got to rush all the time. But now in lockdown world, we have been given time. We have been given back time to spend more time with our children, to give them the time of day that it takes for them to learn a new skill. Now, a new skill is something they will hold and store in their minds forevermore. If you think about when you learnt to ride a bike, you might not ride a bike again for another 10 years. You might pick up a bike when you're out in town, but you might not have rode a bike since you were a child. But you will remember how you ride a bike if you've learnt. Some children, when they're 2 years old, if they have a bike, they will learn to ride a bike. My best friend's son and my own daughter learnt to ride their bikes before they were 2.5 with no stabilizers on. Why? Because the bikes were there for their older sibling and they wanted to do it. They wanted to do it for themselves. So they had the opportunity, because they had the equipment. I, myself and my friends would assist them. That's giving them the time for the learning, and they practiced and they did it over and over and over again, and they learned. A child who doesn't have a bike, because you live in a flat. I lived in a flat for many years, and I know it's difficult to have sometimes the play outdoor equipment. So bikes is always tricky. And now some of my friends, their children didn't learn to ride their bikes till they were 7 or 8. But it doesn't matter when they learn the skill. It's having those opportunities to learn the skills. But giving, all lockdown words is giving us back time, precious time with our children, to teach them those key life skills that they will hold in their minds and their hearts and their souls forevermore. Because once you've learned how to walk, we don't forget. When we have learned to talk, we don't forget to talk. So people who've had a stroke or people who've had an accident may temporarily lose that ability to talk, but they also can sing, which is a fascinating subject. I'm not going to talk about any more of that now, but anyway. So give your kids back time, that time you would have spent on the bus, on the train, when mummy and daddy have gone to work. I used to sing to that song to the children. Mummy and daddy have gone to work, they'll be back soon. Mummy and daddy are on the train, they're riding the bike, they're taking the train, they're walking to work, they'll be back soon. And that was really important. When you have a child who's upset, that they come to you, they don't know you, telling them mummy and daddy are going to be back soon is a real important. And my little song, the children love that. And I get the children then telling mummy and daddy are at work. And I had a little family who mummy said, maybe it'd be nice if their child didn't think mummy and daddy just went to work. And I was like, you're right. Maybe I should sing Mum, I love you, Mummy, or Mummy and Daddy love you back, and teach some other songs, not just Mummy and Daddy are at work. So I took note of that. And I wrote my Mummy I Love You song to aid children on Mother's Day, to send those messages of love to their mums and dad, which they couldn't be with because Mother's Day was right at the beginning of lockdown world. Do you remember? It came and it stopped. Nannies and grannies and grandmas seeing their children, their daughters and mothers and aunties and all of those cousins and all of the relations getting together on Mother's Day. And that was a really sad day, I felt, right at the beginning of lockdown world. I was very, very blessed to have my own mum stay with me during lockdown. And I was thinking about all the mummies that aren't as lucky as my mum and I and my daughter. The three of us were in the same house. We were very lucky. So I thought about all the mummies out there and their children that aren't together. And so because they weren't together, I wrote the Mummy I Love You song. And I sang that on Mother's Day for my mum. And I made her a little star for mum. And I gave that to her as her Mother's Day present because I couldn't get to the shops to buy a present. So I wrote her a song and I created her a star for Mother's Day. And that song is up there and lots of people have listened to it and lots of people really like that Mother's Day song. And what a great opportunity, because next weekend it's Father's Day. And again, I still aren't with my dad because it's lockdown world and we still can't get together. And anyway, I'm a million miles away right now. I'm on the other side of the deep blue sea on another continent. I'm nowhere near my dad. So I have also the Daddy I Love You song that will be, it is already available out there on YouTube, but I'm going to put it up there out on Instagram and repost it on my Facebook page for all the children to learn, for those daddies who they're not together with and they're not going to see on Father's Day. Maybe they can sing Daddy I Love You and send them a message of love on Father's Day, because children, you know, mummies and daddies all over the world, they are the most precious things the children are to all the mummies and daddies. So, you know, to tell them that you love them and on those special days is great. If you don't say it any other time of the year, just once a year, it will be most felt. But if you can say it every day, then that's fantastic. But it's not always the easiest words to say, especially to people who you live with every day. So, you know, sometimes it is easier to sing it. Or even if you can't sing it and you don't want to say it, just send it to them. Send them the link. Send them a picture. Take a screenshot of my picture with the song and the words and send the message. Because if you can't get to the shops to buy your Father's Day song, card even, that's the word I'm looking for. My brain lost track then. One of the little links didn't link up. My brain went blank. I couldn't remember the words, but I'm back on track now. So yeah, if you can't get to the shops, you can't buy your daddy a present for Father's Day, you can look up my song and find the Daddy I Love You and either take a screenshot of it, send it via email or a post message. Aren't we so lucky in lockdown world to have all this technology? You know, I've got my laptop, I've got my phone, 2 phones, as you can see, just so we can communicate. I can't imagine what lockdown world would have been without the internet. I mean, you could think we couldn't work from home, like we've had the luxury of being at home and saving 2 to 3 hours a day not traveling to work. What an experience some of you have enjoyed, not commuting to work and being able to work from your office, from your living rooms, from your bedrooms out there in lockdown world. What a great opportunity to be given back time that slips through our hands like the grains of sand. It's not something that you can get back. You got to capture those extra precious moments you've got now and enjoy them and do something extra special. Give yourself time in the garden, watch some nature, do painting or cooking, do whatever you enjoy. Have your hobby, and you've got an extra few hours of your day to do something that you enjoy. And but if we didn't have technology, how strange would it be not seeing or hearing somebody else? If we didn't have TV, or we didn't have the telephone, we had no internet, and we had to stay in our houses because some plague like the Black Death was carrying around, oh dear, how life would be different. But we have been blessed by technology. Our phones and our mobiles and our computers keep us in touch with the ones that we love. And that is just so precious, that we can communicate via text message or on the phone or a video link. Good old letters have even started making a comeback. Someone told me that they have been starting posting letters, which they hadn't done in years, because their grandparents wanted to see what the children had been making, and they popped their craft into an envelope and posted it. And all those posties who've been my hero stars, and some of you that have seen my stuff before will know about my hero stars. So those postmen, which we put our thumbs up and we clap our hands, and we said a big thank you to all the key workers. And thank you. Every Thursday at 7 o'clock, we were out there banging our drums, clapping our hands, and saying thank you to all the key workers. And this was one of the songs that Dawn very kindly taught me, all the words to my song, and I thank her very much for that. Well done, Dawn. And I will learn more, I promise. I love signing, and I will, because I love it, I will do it more. And I mentioned that earlier, is it's easier to do something that you love. If it's broken and you're not happy and you're feeling sad, then it's difficult to fix those broken things. The broken things and things that you don't like are difficult to make better. So, when you've got something you really enjoy, and I really enjoy singing and signing, and I did think about calling my thing, we see, we sing, we say, and we sign. I didn't add my sign to my thing because it makes 4 words. That's a lot to say in one. Whereas seesingsay is short and catchy, and it looked good on the paper, and I can't sign yet. If I could sign, I know I would have used see, sing, say, and sign, because those 4 things go hand in hand, and that is how we can communicate with our children way more than we ever have been able to. So please enjoy my songs. I'm going to play the music to Stars That Rhyme, and I know I've said it a few times, but I got so carried away, and my friends, my poor friends, have listened to me tell them my vision, my concept, my ideas, and they've listened to me do this, and I kept promising them that I would record myself so then no one has to listen to it over and over again. I can just play it, and I've done it now. I thank you all again. So right. Okay, so this time I'm going to say bye, and I'm going to sing, all right? Bye-bye, everyone, and it goes. Stars that rhyme, sing all the time, sing a song that won't take long. Stars that rhyme, we sing and sign, we help you think and we make you grin. Stars that rhyme, sing all the time, help you think to ask for a drink. Stars that rhyme, we sing all the time. We help you begin to say new things. Stars that rhyme, we sing all the time. As we sing, we learn new things. Stars that rhyme, we sing all the time. As we walk, we learn to talk. So, that is my song. It's time to say goodbye. Thank you for watching today in Lockdown World. Nanny K at seesingsay is gonna say goodbye today. Bye.